Oh, 7 star citizens, X-Wings, X speaking, out in the Prospector, having a drink here on Monox, testing out Pyro mining in the Prospector, and seeing where the new materials are, especially looking for tin, Risite and Stellaron. Of course, finding shitloads of those guys, especially on Bloom. There's a couple of planets that I'm actually testing and prospecting, not only on those new materials, but those I'm actually hunting. But how are the distribution of the other ones? As we know, there are a couple of lists out there. Most of them are quite old. That data mining has been done around 2023, when the first tech preview was of Pyro. That's how it seems, that's what it's out there. Of course, I put you for a third-party calculator, the UX Corp calculator in there, that you see the actual prices for selling, and some stuff has a price tag for selling, some has a price tag only for buying. So it's still a big question mark to me what it is, as I'm trying to gather information always around the net, and then I try to test it for myself to really verify the information that I bring out to you. That's why stuff sometimes takes longer than for others, because I really would like to give you information that I tested. So like confirmed hypotheses. That's what I try to bring out, sometimes without success, sometimes with less success. So let's prospect Bloom, a beautiful place to prospect and to fly onto, because it's a really nice one with a lot of these beautiful lakes and these shattered hills and cracked natures. As usual, we try to go in scan mode, pull the mouse wheel back towards up, so we have the scanning for materials. As you draw it down, then you see what you get when you start to scan ships. So we are here on Bloom. Terranite is actually, based on the list, it's around a 40% chance to find Terranite and Baxalite. Terranite has upped in money, so it's 9,500 now, so 1k more, and Baxalite dropped about 1,000. So really Terranite, from the materials we know, is the one to go for when we go for tier 1 materials, and Bloom is really okay to find this stuff. So this is not such a famous rock I found here, as it has only had below 40% of the materials I'm hunting. So, and it is still recommended to have above 40%, because then it's better clustered in the subcracks, so you have like 100% of one preferred material in it. Of course, every now and then you see 34% of gold and things, I really need to have it, but you will bring a lot more of additional stuff with you than you actually would like to do. As you see in the list down below, this was one of my first prospectings out in Pyro, and so I just got stuff and figured out and tested it, and you see my focus. I burned my focus while doing that on a crack. So here, this is Pyro 1, very different surrounding. You see those shattered rocks down there, they look like frozen volcanic trees, really beautiful. The cool thing on Pyros, you have clusters of rocks from up to 14, which is not possible in Stanton. In Stanton we have a max of 10, if I'm remembering correct. So this is pretty cool, so a lot more rock that you can look onto. So Pyro 1, they say there is a 17% drop chance for rocks. I wasn't as successful in finding any stuff that was really valuable. You see, I didn't pick up anything at that time. So you must see, every exploration took me a good amount of hours trying out stuff. And you see here, this is the moment, 33% gold, shall I take it, shall not? And you see the size of them. So Pyro 1 I really see more as a place for going with the mole. I didn't found that many prospector situations here. It doesn't mean there are none, it's just when I found, and it might be just a spot where I've been to. So it's always a thing where we're actually going for. So like in Stanton, Walla, Shady Glen, that's just an awesome place for prospectoring and as well for mole mining, because you have this good shake of big rocks and smaller rocks. But here, when I've been in Pyro 1, mostly too big masses to take from. So that's my take from this place. But yeah, there were decent amounts of this high percentages of good drop rate of Bexalite and Terranite to find on this one. So it is a place to go, but go with a crew, with your mole, or with a nice solo build of your mole. And the good thing as well, Pyro is a lot of aluminium and titanium based, so we don't have to dig through this whole high density tungsten stuff, which brings us to Monox. Carbon monoxide based atmosphere, an incredible amount of quasi grazers that are distracting your scanning, and you think, oh, there is something, and you see just the sign. Yeah, it's hard to say when it's a grazer and when it's a good spot of rocks. And we have something here that we want to look to, and you see immediately it's all tungsten based. So a lot of tungsten based rock formations I found over here in Monox, which always means you need a lot more power to push through, or a lot more time to push through. And I mainly found tier 2 materials here. Again, maybe I just wasn't lucky and Pyro won as well here on Monox and didn't find the proper locations, and yeah, I was just in a bit of luck, but it was always a Fasticide or a Grisium and or this kind of stuff. So it was really like, what the heck am I doing here? Carbon monoxide, tungsten, and rocks I really don't want to go for. And again, a lot of big rocks. So Monox 2, bring your mole, bring your crew, or a good solo build. Bloom was way more prospector friendly from how I experienced it as I went out and went down there. And again, of course, you can refit the prospector as well with some harder stuff. You're putting Stampede and Search on it, and you get a little bit more of power to pump through the things. Now, let's have a look. Pyro 5. I really like Pyro 5 because really nice environments to explore, to look to, always another moon in the background to take amazing screenshots, and the place to bring your ROC. The amount of hadonite you find here on Fuego is really amazing. It's just around each and every corner you find one single pile of hadonite. That's a good thing to know. Can you see it here? It's right in the center. The ping disappeared, but there it is. Yeah. So there is a lot more to get, and it's a really fun place to fly around with. But I was not very successful in finding boulders. It was a harder thing to do, and those I found were pretty large. So again, more of a mold issue here based on the locations that I prospected. And yes, for sure, it's always as well about luck, and still I'm here to test out and verify those lists that are out, those data mining that has been done, to see what is actually going on. And you see a couple of boulders, perfect for prospector in size, but mostly tier 2 or tier 1 materials in it. But now the fun thing is appearing as I'm moving forward around the corner, still here on Ignis, and it felt like my hunt came to a conclusion. But what did I find? Still around Recite, tin, ice. What could it be here on Ignis? Well, it was tin. That's a tier 3 material. It pays out around 329 AUAC at the present moment if you sell it somewhere. But I was just happy to finally find one of the new materials. I scooped it all up. It came out around 28 SU of the tin ore, not 23 SU of the tin ore. I refined it, of course, and I got away with 22 SU of tin ore after 21 hours of refining. Of course, I loaded it into my raft and had a good fly around with it. I tried to solve it and I wasn't successful yet because there was no demand at the present moment, but we're gonna get to that too. If this video was helpful, please share, like and subscribe. 07 and we see us out in the verse.